Nashville shooter news that came out last week, of course, is something that I think it's a lot of different emotions, man. A lot of different emotions. One, it's bothering to me, and again, condolences, first and foremost, condolences to the people who did indeed lose their lives in that situation, to the young children, to the older adults as well, too. It's unfortunate that these things are happening at the speed and consistency that they're happening. Like, it's crazy that there's no off limits with certain things, man. I feel like there's just certain things like that should just be universally understood that we just don't do. We shouldn't be shooting and killing anybody, but if we must, can we draw the line at kids? Can we draw the line at elementary schools, bro? Can we draw the line at high schools? Can we draw the line somewhere? Evildoers of the world. Evildoers of the world. Can we draw the line somewhere? Can we find somewhere where it's just like, all right, man, nah, we don't do that, right? Even the gangsters, even the most gangster people, right? The mob and the Italians back in the day, man, didn't they draw the line at wife and kids, man? Didn't they? To my understanding, didn't they, man? But the thing that I kind of want to say a lot on, there's a series of different problems with what's happening, right? A couple things. People are saying it's the gun control, People are saying, try to target on the demographic of the person, which again was a transgender person. It's been confirmed that this person was indeed of the transgender community, this, that, and the other. People are saying it's the lack of, security in the schools, this, and the other, yada, yada, yada. People are saying it's a mental health thing where it's just like these people. And that's what I kind of believe as well, too. I believe a couple of things, and I'll say this, man. What I believe is happening, man, and again, call me crazy. That wouldn't be the first. You wouldn't be the first. But it's a couple things that's happening. I believe in spiritual warfare. I believe it has to be demonic possession at this point, bro. I'm so serious, man. I don't even want to laugh. Like, it has to be, it's mental health, right? Because again, it takes a certain type of person to be able to rationalize in their mind. I don't care what your gripe is with the world, man, that you feel like, oh, we're not being heard, or whatever the case is, or people are not taking my, collective of people seriously. I don't care what your stance is. You have to be, you can't be all the way there to rationalize in your brain, hey, man, I'm going to drive up in this school. I'm going to walk up to the school, use military-styled weapons on innocent elementary school students and feel like that is the thing to do. That's not normal. That's beyond that. And that's why I'm willing to say that it's demonic possession, because I feel like we can all unanimously agree that killing elementary school students is a no-no, right? That's just like, damn, bro. Like, it's one thing to shoot up a grocery store and be like, all right, whatever the case is, boom, boom, boom. It's one thing to shoot up, whatever the case is, but a high school, and I'm not even saying it's any better, because these are all students. These are all people that didn't even get a chance to unfold their lives and have the heartache of all the parents. And my heart really goes out to the parents who really are losing their children, because this is happening too many times, right? But what type of person do you have to be? What type of mindset do you have to embrace to be able to rationalize in your mind that killing elementary school students is the right thing to do? What? You can't be all the way there. So I'm willing to look at, let's turn it to mental health. Mental health, of course, that's going to be an easy one, right? Of course, these people are not fully sane in the brain. All these people that have ever done any type of atrocity in the world, taking the lives of innocent people, doing these just atrocious things in the world that really cause harm to others, you're not all the way there. You're, of course, not of sound mind. But I'm willing to take it a step further, man. Honestly, I do believe in spiritual warfare. I believe in a battle of good versus evil. I believe in angels versus demons. It has to be that. Like, it has to be something else. We're not dealing with, these are not normal characteristics. These are not normal happenings of the world, So it's just like, it has to be something greater than us. Again, for somebody to be able to rationalize them doing that, like, this is the right thing to do, right? So one thing that I thought was interesting, man, and I spoke on this before, right? In a video that I posted on here before as well, too. which I was explaining as the essence of this whole channel, is us trying to figure out a way that we can all coexist. So this whole transgender, this whole LGBTQ community, things of that nature, man, I kind of saw two things, and you kind of noticed it. You probably noticed this as well too. In the media, I thought it was interesting to see the publications, how they were relaying this information, right? So you had the media you had news publications that were, what can I say? You had the publications that were basically making it very well known that, hey, this was a transgender person who did this act towards innocent kids, whatever the case is. They made it very clear to state that this was a transgender person. This person was of the transgender community. Then you had publications that didn't list that at all. I think CNN was one of them, where in the headlines, they just kept saying a person. And this was after it was already understood, because I think there might have been confusion on, male, female, how they identify, whatever the case is. And then you notice some people who were not putting that information to the forefront because they look at it as just another tactic to cause more division, right? Which I thought was interesting, because you can villainize a certain group of people by, same thing with those balloons. I thought it was interesting. I always want you guys to keep this in mind, man. Always watch how things are worded in the media. The words are important, right? As a writer, I could say that. Words are important. Always look how they word things in the media when it comes to certain things, man. Those balloons, those spy balloons, it was so interesting to me, whereas it's like the Chinese balloon, they kept emphasizing that the Chinese balloon, the Chinese balloon, the Chinese balloon, when the whole COVID situation was happening. And Trump even said it, when you start labeling atrocities with a certain demographic of people, though it is, these are, in truth, that's what, and again, with those balloons, don't even get me started. I didn't even speak on that, but you inevitably villainize these group of people, which in turn is only going to make it harder for the rest of us, right? For that specific demographic, and then those of us who have family members of that, who identify as that, or have coworkers who identify as that, or whatever the case is. So when you start associating or drilling it down, doubling down on transgender, it's almost like putting a hit out for other transgender people, in that community who identify that. Now, some people believe, I'm not, my whole stance is this. Let me kind of say where I kind of stand on this as well too. I'm going to be completely honest, and I do feel like I have some type of right to say this, right? I feel like, where I feel like free speech is, I'm not saying anything that's going to be detrimental, whatever the case is, but I'm going to say this. And of course, I'm being mindful with my words, because I do want to be respectful of everybody and their beliefs, whatever the case is, which is my whole essence of this channel. Me personally, I will say that I don't understand that community. I don't. The whole transgender, drag, LGBTQ, I don't understand that community. I don't come from that background. But I don't wish death on them. It's like, I don't want these people to die. That's my thing. And I think that's where I'm trying to get to. I think that's where the world needs to get to, is it's like, we don't have to because we know who did that, right? Who wanted to eradicate people that they didn't agree with? That was Hitler. Didn't Hitler want that for the Jews? I think we got to get to a point where we could, again, disagree with people's views, but not wish death on them. You'll never catch me. People are going out their way, and this is what I was speaking on in the whole Tekashi thing as well too. I'm not about to go out of my way. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I'm not about to go out of my way to show you I don't like you. It's like the people that, let's say the Pride Parade, and you always hear situations where people that, a man went to a Pride Parade and with his truck you always hear those stories of people running people down or shooting places up or going to an event where they know they're going to be, or whatever the case is, and causing harm to these people. I think that's where it's a bit much. Don't let these people get you out of your element, bro. You're not about to get me so worked up where I'm about to put my life in danger and put my, livelihood in danger, with the possibility of going to jail for y'all. I don't care that much. Again, I don't understand that community, but I don't want them wiped off the face of the world, because I'm not the judge. You understand? We're trying to play God in certain situations, bro. like I said in the video before, man, like, I'm not here to debate right or wrong. These people in their mind have rationalized that their way of life is correct to them. How they identify is correct to them, and that's how they choose to live their life. I believe everybody does have that right. As an individual, as a human being, you do have the right to maneuver how you want to maneuver, right? Do whatever you want to do. If you wake up one morning and you identify as a horse, a rabbit, I saw some TikToker would say she identified as a red robin or something like that, a bird of some sort. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. So it's like, I'm not about to go to my way, like, to, wish evil on you and try to harm you. For what? You identifying as a man or a woman or whatever the case is doesn't affect my sleep. It doesn't affect my pay. It doesn't affect the endeavors that I'm on. I don't want to wish harm on people that these things don't affect me. So tying back with the whole Nashville shooter, I thought it was an interesting take for the publications that did choose to bypass or at least not drive home the fact that this indeed was a transgender person, because that is only going to cause more harm to the people of that community. Let's stray away from the harm. I think you're crossing the line when you're starting to want to kill people, right, for their beliefs and their views, right? Because this is, again, a repetitive cycle that us as humans can't get over, man. Like, we got to figure out another solution. Like, you got to be able to draw the line somewhere. It's like, man, you can, and even if it's something that you just keep internal, like, man, I hate these people. If that's your prerogative, I hate these people. I can't stand them. They're toxic. They're toxic to our culture. This and the other. Okay, you're entitled to that opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But when you elevate that thought from I hate these people, let me now go get a gun and go to their parade and shoot it all up, you're doing too much. In my opinion, you're doing too much, and it's so funny because, well, not funny, but right, the timing of the whole thing, which I thought was a little bit sketch as well too, but whatever, I thought it was interesting. There was an event scheduled in DC today that got canceled. Of course, it was called the Trans Day of Vengeance. Mind you, this event happened, the Nashville shooter thing happened on Monday of last week or whatever, early last week, and there was an event already pre-scheduled for Saturday, April 1st, which was entitled the Trans Day of Vengeance, where it was some type of rally or some type of meetup in DC for that, for the, people of that community who felt like enough is enough. Because I think the collective understanding, from my understanding right now, is that they're fed up. They are tired of people not identifying them as their preferred pronouns, this and that and the other, yada, yada, yada. So now I've seen, a series of different, and mind you, these are just one or two clips that I've seen personally. I think there is, more, but these people have now, take it upon themselves to fight back and arm themselves and equip themselves. And I think that whole Trans Day of Vengeance did get canceled. I think there was a flyer that was going around that I think Twitter took down, or whatever the case is. And I think it was officially put out that event did get canceled in fear of like danger and threats, whatever the case is, which was rightfully done, because honestly, I do believe that would have been a slaughter. If that event would have happened, I'm not going to lie to you, because again, it coming fresh off of what just happened come Monday. This Nashville shooter thing happened Monday, and then there was going to be a rally of that demographic of people who were going to meet up, and it was titled the Trans Day of Vengeance. Yeah, it would have been vengeance, all right. It would have been vengeance. It would have been a lot of vengeance, and I believe that would have been a bloodbath. So I'm actually kind of happy that happened, and that was actually out in DC. So that was a catastrophe that got avoided, because that whole event was sponsored by that collective of people who were going to, march, protest, and feel that, no, we need to be heard, we need to be treated as equal, yada, yada, yada. But coming fresh off of people still, emotionally, and rightfully so, right? People are still, because again, the loss of life of young children, of any person for that matter, but the loss of life for young children is getting out of hand. It's becoming too much, man. And when we get to the point that we can easily be dismissive of young children and just look at them as just another casualty just to kind of further your motion, people are going to be insensitive to you as well too, and your causes as well too. So it's just like, things like that can't be happening, bro. It just can't. Like, it's not it's only going to get worse, man. So again, I don't have all the answers. I don't have the solutions, but I do believe that, again, I don't understand the trans community, the drag community, all of that, that whole collective. I don't understand. But you're not about to catch me at a rally wishing harm on these people. You're not about to catch me leaving my schedule, leaving my home with the intent of, I'm gonna slay me some. What? For what? How is this affecting you? Now you might feel like, you're doing yourself a civil duty and a civil justice, but for what? You don't know how things are gonna play out, man. You don't. Why put yourself on the front line for matters that are not necessarily taking food out of your plate? You should worry about what's going on with what you got going on. If these people are not taking food out of your mouth, if they're not taking, it might be a little bit much. In my personal opinion, it's a little much. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's a little much in the sense of that, like, one thing that kind of gets me about that community, and again, just being fully candid and transparent, like, I feel like there's a level of, like, they tend to act as if, like, it's the most normalest thing that we should all just adopt. Like, give us some time to adjust to your lifestyle, like, that's my thing. And again, like, I'm not sitting here wishing hate or death on anybody, on any demographic. I don't have to understand your lifestyle for me to respect you. I look at you as a human. So let me just make that clear as well too. Like, I don't have to understand or condone your lifestyle for me to respect you. I'm going to respect you off the fact that you have blood running through your veins just like me. You have a beating heart in your chest just like me. You have a brain in your head just like me. That's why I respect people. That's what, so that if you treat people like that is going to be able to supersede race, religion, class, sexual orientation, all of that. So it's like, again, I'm not about to go out my way and start wishing harm and death on people that is not directly affecting me. Even if you believe that it's affecting us as a whole and our children and this, that, and the other, that's your prerogative. Again, you're open to your opinion. You don't have to be hand in hand with things that you don't understand. But I think it crosses the line where you are now wishing, like, man, let's load up the guns and eradicate all this whole collective off the planet. You're doing too much, in my opinion. So, the Nashville shooter situation, again, it's really unfortunate that people feel like to get their message across, they have to bring harm to young children, to feel like they need to be heard or understood, or to make a point that you are willing to walk into an elementary school and take the lives of young children. We have to come to a point where we're willing to draw the line on certain things where it's like, all right, that's a no-no. Like, we don't do that. Again, like, back in the old mob movies back in the day, when you had a problem with somebody, women and children were out the picture. You left them to the side, man. My problem was with you and you only. I'm not coming after your wife. I'm not coming after your children, this, that, and the other. But it's like nowadays there's no rules. Like, everything is acceptable. Everything is fair game, and which I think is crazy, man. So, is it a situation of having more regulations on guns? I think it is as well too. Like, the accessibility of guns is crazy to me, honestly. Like, I do believe in self-protection. I do believe in, the right to bear arms, but we do have to be a little bit stricter on these rules, man. And I think even the schools, like, something has to be different. I saw somebody once say as well too, somebody online said that we should just shut down this whole, I forgot what they said and I can't quote them, but I saw somewhere, I think it was on Twitter somewhere, where a lady was just like, man, these school shootings have to stop. So until we can figure out how to lock the side doors, because people are blaming, a side door. The solution to, somebody said the solution to this problem is just making sure all the side doors are locked on schools. All the side doors, all these school shootings are because the side doors are left open when the cases. I think it's a little bit more than that, there's a level of responsibility that schools have to take in charge of making sure your children are, as parents as well too, like, hey man, I'm leaving my child in your hands. I need to make sure this establishment is safe. So yeah, there's a level of that, but I mean, there's ways to kind of get around a open side door. So, even if we were to make sure all our side doors were locked, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the solution to the problem. But, yeah, man, I think we need to figure out a solution, bro. Something's got to change, man. Something's got to change, because innocent lives of any sort, young, old, it's just like, we got to draw the line somewhere, bro. It's just becoming too much. It's becoming too much, and it's not right. But yeah, again, condolences to the people who are going through that situation right now. To the transgender community, I understand you want to be heard, man. I understand that you want people to respect your views and things of that nature, and that's the whole essence of this channel as well, too, man. Let's figure out how we can incorporate all our lifestyles, all our backgrounds, all our biases in a safe and healthy manner. Because again, we have to interact with each other in public settings. Unless we all figure out like, oh, let's go back to segregation and you people stay over there and we stay over here. I think that's the solution that some people are saying as well too. But nah, because then what happens to all our biracial families? Who whatever of different, all our biracial families, our biracial children, the people who just maybe you're not even biracial, you're just not a racist, and you want to be able to still commune with people who are not like you. You appreciate culture, you appreciate diverse perspectives and backgrounds. So I don't think segregation necessarily is a solution either, man. That's taking a step backwards, man. Let's figure out a way that we can, again, intertwine our beliefs safely in a right manner that is respectful and safe at the end of the day, man. Because who we all want to feel heard, right? We all want to feel seen, I guess, essentially, right? But it just can't be. We can't. This can't be the solution. Like, we can't keep having young children losing their lives that are caught in the crossfires of things that have nothing to do with them. It's just super unfortunate, and I think we have to find better solutions. Gun control has to raise, things of that nature. I think accessibility to guns is a little bit crucial in this country as well too. But, and again, back to what I honestly believe as well too, these demonic forces, man, it's getting dark out here. Spiritual forces, man, because again, you have to be a certain type of person to be able to rationalize that. And I believe it's beyond mental health. I believe it's on just, I'm not feeling hurt anymore. I'm just going to say, man, in my personal belief, man, I do believe in demonic spirits. I do believe in demonic forces. I do believe in dark entities that sway the minds of the feeble and misguided, that could convince you that what you're doing is the right thing to do. So that's a whole nother topic. I don't know the solution to that. Just get your mind right, get your soul right, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's that bit on that, man. The Nashville shooter hole situation, man. I think that's something that is definitely unfortunate, and I do wish that it does stop. So hopefully we find some type of solution moving forward, man, and kind of see how things unfold. But it's not looking too good in the current state of how all of this is unfolding. So we'll see, man, how that goes. But